Now, in the third class of thermodynamics, we should know what is reversible process and how it is achieved. So, reversible process is one which can be retracted exactly in the opposite direction by changing external conditions infinitesimally. Infinitesimally means very slowly. So, you know that in the direct process, you come across working substance. In any cycle of operation, you are coming across working substance. So, working substance may be a gas or a perfect gas. That working substance can be taken through the cycle of operation. That you know, heat is extracted from the working substance after going through the several changes, isothermal expansion and compression, adiabatic expansion and compression, and finally heat is rejected to the sink. Then this is one stage of operation. If this stage is reversed means working substance has to extract certain amount of heat from the sink. Then work is done on the working substance and it rejects certain amount of heat to the source. All the process which is carried out in the direct process should be exactly repeated in the reverse process. There should not be any loss of energy either by radiation or by friction. If there is a loss of heat energy, reversible process cannot be processed. And for example, consider one cylinder provided with a frictionless piston. It is perfectly conducting walls. If you move this piston in the downward direction, what happens? Pressure increases, volume decreases, temperature increases. You move this piston up to this point. After this, if you move this piston in the upward direction slowly, what happens here? Gas is present, expansion takes place, volume increases, pressure decreases, and temperature decreases. So these changes should be exactly repeated. And consider certain container having some water at certain temperature. Water is present. So temperature of the water is T. If you keep this cylinder inside this water, you know that all these three are conducting. It is provided with a piston. Then go on pushing this piston to the next stage, like this, step by step. What happens? volume decreases, pressure increases, temperature also goes on increasing. But say surrounding temperature may be about 80 Kelvin. So this temperature should be also maintained nearly this temperature. So slowly go on moving this piston downward direction very slowly, infinitesimally, very small amount. Certain temperature is produced. Wait, pause the process for some time, means wait till the equilibrium attains. Then once again go on moving. There should not be any appreciable change in the temperature and pressure. So this process which you are carrying very slowly, it is called as quasi-static process. If the process carried very slowly, then see here you have reached up to this point. Then, so when you are pressing, so temperature and pressure goes on changing, you are stopping some time, again the temperature to become equilibrium. Then in the same manner, go on moving this in the upward direction. So at every stage, all these thermodynamical conditions should be maintained same. So amount of heat absorbed or rejected should be maintained. If the process is carried in such a way that process is known as a reversible process. In the reversible process, this process should be very slow, it should not be rapid. The pressure and temperature should not appreciably changes in connection with the surroundings. Then there should not be loss of any heat energy by friction or otherwise. There should not be lost by the friction or any otherwise radiation or conduction. Such process is known as the reversible process. Consider another example of this Carnot's imaginary cycle or engine. You know that we have studied the Carnot imaginary engine. It has one side source, then another side stand, and next one is sink, which you have dealt in the first class. The working substance first is placed on the source. Source and sink have maintained a very high temperature. They have infinitesimal thermal capacity. First, the cylinder was placed on the sink, then gas is allowed to expand, then that means heat is taken from the source, and after doing certain amount of work on the substance, on the working substance, keeping on the insulating stand, then finally it is kept on the sink. To that sink, certain amount of heat is rejected. If it is carried in the manner A, B, C, D, A, it is a direct process, and the same thing should be followed in the reverse direction. That means A, B, C, B, A. That means certain amount of heat is absorbed from the sink. Then certain amount of heat Q2 is rejected to the sink. Now work is done on the system. This work done on the system is given by Q1 minus Q2. So Carnot imaginary heat engine or the cycle is completely reversible. So changes are taking place very slowly under quasi-static conditions. Either the process is adiabatic or isothermal, but the process is very slow. The working substance is taken through the cycle of operation in the direct process. Then all the stages which are occurred in the direct process should be repeated in the reverse process, such that there should not be any loss of energy either by friction or by radiation. This process is called as reversible process, and in the reversible process it is only the ideal thing. In practice it is not possible to produce this reversible process without an external agency. So on this basis there is a second law of thermodynamics. That second law of thermodynamics are stated in different forms. So one is Planck's Kelvin. Let us study Planck's Kelvin and the Clausius statement. So Planck's Kelvin statement states that it is impossible to construct any engine that solely extract heat from the sink and equal amount of work is done. So that means equal amount of work done cannot be possible. What is that equal amount of work? The work done in the direct process cannot be retraced exactly in the same manner. That statement was by Planck and Kelvin. And another scientist, that Clausius, has stated it in the different form. It is impossible to transfer for any self-acting machine unaided by an external agency to transfer heat from a body at lower temperature to the body at higher temperature. So it is impossible for any self-acting machine without an external agency to transfer heat from a body at a lower temperature to the body at higher temperature. Next we have to study Carnot's theorem. They will ask this in the examination as a 5-mark question. There are two statements about Carnot theorem. The first one is, no heat engine is more efficient than a perfectly reversible engine working between same two temperatures. No heat engine can be more efficient than a perfectly reversible heat engine working between same two temperatures. What is this? See, you know that for an heat engine, main is two things are necessary. One is source is kept at higher temperature. sink is at a lower temperature, and this is source and sink. Both reversible and irreversible engines are connected to same pair of temperatures. No heat engine can be more efficient than a perfectly reversible engine working between same two temperatures. Then second one is the efficiency of all reversible heat engine is same irrespective of the nature of the gas, nature of the working substance. That means we are using working substance in the heat engine. You take whatever may be the working substance and take two engines of different working substance, connect to the same temperature. So efficiency of all these reversible engine working between same two temperature is same. It is not depending on the nature of the working substance. Now let us prove the first one. State, they will ask in the examination, state and prove. Proof. Let there are two heat engines A and B. A is irreversible heat engine, means it takes heat from the source at higher temperature T1 and rejects an extra heat H2 to the sink at temperature T2. It is irreversible engine. Then connect another B, which is a reversible engine. You know that the reversible engine takes heat from sink at the lower temperature and it transfers it to the source. And these two engines are coupled. These two engines are coupled. According to the statement, no heat engine is more efficient than a perfectly reversible engine working between same two temperatures. That means, according to the statement, if eta is the efficiency of irreversible heat engine and eta dash is efficiency of reversible heat engine, then it should be less than this, according to the statement. Now we have to prove this. Let us assume that if eta is greater than eta dash, means what? If eta is greater than eta dash means efficiency of irreversible heat engine, let us assume, more than that of irreversible heat engine. Then here the irreversible heat engine takes a certain amount of heat H1 from the source and releases an amount of heat H2 to the sink. Then you know this efficiency is given by 1 minus this is H1 minus H2 upon H1, or H1 minus H2 is work done. This is W upon H1. Call this equation as 1. Then for eta dash, it takes the heat H1 dash, H2 dash, and work is done on the system. Now this is H1 dash minus H2 dash upon H1 dash. So once again, this is work done divided by H1 dash. Call this equation as 2. Then if eta is greater than eta dash, this eta is given by W upon H1, eta dash is given by W upon H1 dash. If eta is greater than eta dash, what about this H1 and H1 dash? If eta is greater than eta dash, then definitely this H1 dash is greater than H1. You know, work done is same. H1 minus H2 should be equal to H1 dash minus H2 dash. So H1 dash is greater than H1, then definitely you know that H2 dash is greater than H2. Then what is the net amount of heat transferred to the source, and what is the net amount of heat transferred to the sink? Net amount of heat transferred to the source is H2 dash minus H2, and to the sink is H1 dash minus H1. So H1 dash minus H1 is the net amount of heat transferred to the source. Then H2 dash minus H2 is the net amount of heat transferred to the sink. That means heat has been transferred from sink at lower temperature to the source at higher temperature. Heat is transferred from source at sink at lower temperature T2 to the source at temperature T1 without doing an external work, which is contradictory to the second law of thermodynamics. Means heat cannot flow from a body at lower temperature to the body at higher temperature without doing an external work. Therefore, this eta is greater than eta dash is wrong. Always eta dash is greater than eta. So efficiency of perfectly reversible engine is more efficient than all other engines. Then second, so all reversible heat engines, reversible now, all of them are reversible. Heat engine between the same limits of temperature have same efficiency, so independent of the nature of the working substance. It is not depending on the working substance. So why? You know this eta is equal to somewhere 1 upon T2 minus T1. Efficiency totally depending on this T1 and T2, not nitrogen, air or any gas. Therefore, so all reversible heat engines working between the same limits of temperature have same efficiency. Now let us solve some examples. First example is calculate the efficiency of auto engine, means they asked what is eta if its adiabatic compression ratio is 5. That means compression ratio rho is 5. Then nu is given, nu is equal to 1.4. You know that your efficiency eta is equal to 1 minus 1 upon rho nu minus 1, or this is 1 minus rho is 5, 1 by 5, nu minus 1 is 1.4 minus 1. This is 1 minus 1 by 5 is nothing but your 0.2. 1.4 minus 1 is 0.4. This is, I have to simplify this. 0.2 is to 0.4. You are going to get 0.5253. Then 1 minus 0.5253 is 0.4747. Usually this efficiency is expressed in terms of percentage. Now this is 47.47%. Now similarly, let us see this. Calculate the efficiency of auto engine of compression ratio 4. Given Cp upon Cv is 5. That means here rho is given, it is 5. Mu is equal to, you know that Cp upon Cv. And once again use the same formula. You will going to get it is 0.5, or your efficiency is 50%. Then see the third one. Calculate the compression ratio. Now they have asked what is compression ratio. See that third one. Rho is asked. Compression ratio of auto engine if its efficiency is, if eta is 0.6, given nu is 1.4. Then once again you use this formula, your efficiency eta is equal to 1 minus 1 upon rho into mu minus 1. Efficiency is given, it is 0.6, 1 minus 1 upon rho, mu minus 1, it is 1.4 minus 1. Or you can write this as 1 upon rho is equal to 0.4, that is equal to 1 minus 0.6, it is 0.4. Now how to evaluate this? You know your 0.4, you should multiply it by 10 and divide it by 10. You are going to get this as 4 upon 10, or this is 2 upon 5. Means this can be written as 1 upon rho is to 2 by 5 is equal to 0.4. Multiply both side by 5 by 2. If you multiply here 5 by 2, you are going to get 1 upon rho. This is 0.4 is to 5 by 2. Or this is 1 upon rho is equal to 0.4 is to 2.5 it is. 5 by 2 is 2.5. Then 1 upon rho, you are going to get it as 0.1011. Then if you simplify this, your rho is 9.89. Our efficiency is nearly, it is 10. Now your fourth example. Now see this fourth example. Find the efficiency of Carnot engine working between steam and ice point. Steam. Ice point. Steam means boiling point of water. Ice point is, one is source, another one is sink. Which one is source? Steam is source. So your T1 is 100 plus 273, 373. And your ice point T2 is 0 plus 273. This is 273. So your eta is given by 1 minus, it is T2 upon T1. Then this is 1 minus T2 is 273 upon 373. Then if you simplify this, you will going to get it as 26.8%. Percentage efficiency is 26.8%. Now next one is fifth. Find the efficiency of Carnot's engine working between 127 and 27 degree. Absorbs 80 calories of heat. How much heat is rejected? Now which one is T1 here? 127. Source 127 plus 273. It is 400. Your T2 27. 27 plus 273 is 300. You have to calculate what is your efficiency. 1 minus once again T2 upon T1. So if it is eta is equal to 1 minus your T2 is 300 upon 400. You are going to get this eta as 0.25. Efficiency. It absorbs heat 80 calories from 80 calories of heat. How much heat is rejected? That means Q1, or you take it as H1 is 80 calories, and what is H2? You know that your efficiency eta is H1 minus H2 upon H1. H1 minus H2 is nothing but your work done upon H1. Then work done is efficiency into H1. what is this efficiency is 0.25 into H1. H1 is 80 calorie. You are going to get this as 20 calorie. Work done. Then you know that W is equal to H1 minus H2. You want what is H2? So H2 is equal to H1 minus eta. What is H1? 80. Eta is, so you know eta W it is. Eta W. 20. So this is 60 calories. You try different examples using the book of Shah and Srivastav, Heat and Thermodynamics by Brizalal and Subramanian. I think this completes your first chapter of thermodynamics.